This is Professor Raymond Novi, Department of Ancient History, log entry number 2. I believe I have made a significant find in the castle of Cantar. Having journeyed there with my wife Henrietta, my daughter Annie, and associate professor Ed Gettle. It was in the rear chamber of the castle that we stumbled upon something remarkable. Naturum de Monto, the Book of the Dead. My wife and I brought the book to this cabin, where I could study it undisturbed. It was here that I began the translations. The book speaks of a spiritual presence, a thing of evil that roams the forests and the dark bowers of man's domain. It is through the recitation of the book's passages that this dark spirit is given license to possess the living. Recorded here are the phonetic pronunciations of those passages. Kanda, Estrata, Mantos, Iegres, Gat, Nosferatus, Kanda, Mantos, Kanda.
Hi, I'm Tits.
Hi, and I'm Areolas.
And we're covering 1981 The Evil Dead, directed by Sam Raimi. I've already done a review for this on my channel, youtube.com/ASCpresents, but what is your previous exposure to watching this movie, Lorenzo?
I haven't seen it in forever. I think maybe recently I saw part 2, which is kind of like a sequel slash remake of it, but it's
Yeah.
more slapstick funnier.
Right.
So I hadn't seen the original one in a long time, and I remember why. This one's like actually legit scary.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I would say that before watching it to review on my channel, I have never seen it before or like knew anything about it. I just knew that a bunch of people were like, "Hey, you gotta watch The Evil Dead." I'm like, "All right, fine. I'm gonna watch The Evil Dead." Right.
No, it's very good, very
Yeah.
like original, and for it to be, just like 5 kids in a fucking cabin and all this shit go down, like I
Yeah.
don't know. It set a lot of like precedent for that whole cabin in the woods type fear,
Yeah, now that I think about it, I guess it has. Hey Lorenzo.
Mhm.
If you walked up to a cabin and the porch was just moving on its own, would you stay at that cabin?
I don't think I'd stay at any cabin as long as maybe if it had working plumbing.
I think it has working plumbing.
I
This
don't know.
cabin. I mean, it might
Yeah,
be in the middle of the woods. It might have a septic tank.
but then that bridge at the beginning should have already turned you off when it's literally breaking while you're driving to the side of,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they never like look at any of the warning signs. They're just like, "Yeah, let's just go to our destination cuz we gotta." And I'm just like, "Bro, you got the entirety of nature telling you to turn around." If the bridge broke under you, just like one of the boards, would you drive forward or would you go in reverse?
No, fuck, I'd go in reverse.
Yeah,
I'd be like
exactly.
I'd be like, fuck this shit. Like, I don't even know if we're gonna make it back,
Yeah.
Yeah, even if there wasn't any hauntings or fucking shit, like just getting back, it would be scary enough.
All right, here's another instance of would you if you like even if you weren't near a person who is getting possessed by a demon, if you were the person being possessed by a demon after drawing a demon, would you A, keep to yourself, or B, let everyone know immediately?
If I was possessed by a demon?
Yeah, that chick just like draws a demon and then like gets to touch of the demon. on her.
I'd probably keep it to myself.
You would keep it to. That's what she did, and look what happened.
But this demon's so I don't know, like wishy-washy because
Yeah,
like you could hit the shit out of it. Like there are points where Ash is like beating the shit out of his girl, and then
yeah.
he's gonna shoot her and he can't, or they're
What a
taking like,
pussy.
huh?
I'm like, what a pussy.
I know, like you just beat the shit out of her, and then you're like, I can't shoot her. Like, dude, you just punched her, you know?
I mean, what if your friend turned into a demon? Like, would you be able to shoot them?
I don't know. It would depend, because that's where like the mind games came into play here when
Right.
they would like switch back to their old voices, like the demon would try to trick them,
Yeah.
and that's smart. You know, I know in the more recent ones it does a lot of that, but
Mhm.
here like they're just straight up like fuck you, fuck, you know, whatever, like.
Yeah. I would be super I think if my friend turned into a demon and was able to have two demon voices, like I would also be torn apart, which is why I think this movie hits with me so well. Is like even after being possessed, here's a second instance. It's more public that you're actually being possessed by a demon, and then we have to have a choice. Ash has to make a choice whether to beat the friend to death or just leave the friend in the cellar where the friend can escape from the cellar. Oh man, this movie has got me thinking. Uh,
Would you I don't know, well, because this is a girl. How did you feel about that rape scene with the tree? Like, did that get you? Did it make you feel weird? You know, like,
weird. Okay, here's how I felt about that. So while she's like walking out, and because of the way that the movie is set up, like there's like POV shots outside. So I'm just thinking there's somebody outside, and then she's outside alone. And so while I see that, I'm like, bro, go away, go inside. You do not be alone. And then she goes into the forest, and I'm at this point like, what are you doing? And
yeah,
then she gets yanked by the trees, and the trees start doing a tentacle thing around her. That was
they were cutting her too. They're like cutting her
yeah.
shins and her arms, ripping her clothes.
Yeah, I felt that was like I honestly felt two emotions. One was concern
Hmm.
and one was just arousal. I mean, I'm not it's that's just a hot scene. I know she's being like tortured. She's being molested by trees, but
Hmm.
it's like the appeal of tentacle porn to me.
Well, it's shot so well too, like
Yeah.
the way the vines are being wrapped around. I don't know if the director did like where it reverses, you know, where they had him already on there and unwrapped him, and
Yeah.
it's I wouldn't say it's done tastefully. Yeah, it's a tasteful rape scene of a tree, but it,
Yeah,
it's the best you're gonna see of like some girl getting raped by a tree if
that's
you had to
true.
watch that, you know?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's an accurate description. So we have porch swinging on its own. We have woman getting possessed by a demon. We have a lady getting raked by a tree. At what
Mhm.
point would you try to leave?
I mean, shit. First thing
Yeah.
when that chick got raped by the tree, she was right. She's like, "Let's get the fuck out of here." And everyone's all like, "Come on, let's just wait till morning. What are you talking about?"
It's like,
And
get wrecked. The bridge is already got. Now y'all can't leave, and I'm just thinking to myself, how could there be a way out? Like, I hope there's a way out because I feel concerned for their safety. Honestly, like, there has to be like some sort of back trail. Like, there can't just be one way to go to this cabin.
nah, there has to be like another bridge going further down, or where, you know, a river meets something else where there's a hill instead of a
Yeah,
bridge. That's just the most
exactly.
convenient. convenient way straight to the cabin, probably.
Man, I felt like Ash should have just run into the night and then ran one direction. And instead of like hunkering down and having to just chill, he should have just like uh screamed, flailed his arms around in the darkness of night. Fuck them trees. He can fight them trees. I'm sure
I
he'll be able to battle them.
what'd you think of that part? And I don't know if you. It's a quick part, but like whenever that girl gets stabbed by the pencil right in the
Yeah.
foot, and I mean
Ugh.
that would hurt. Fuck yeah, like a
Yeah.
sharpened lead pencil. But then did you see it like later on whenever it shows it like spreading like a stop motion type disease?
Oh.
And
Ew.
yeah, and it looks cool. And that's when, you have like that first girl that looks badass possessed, and then you have
Yeah.
I think the second girl that looks pretty cool, and then the third one just kind of has like makeup on, like
Yeah.
clown makeup on.
I thought it was really funny. Just the
Yeah.
different levels of deadite that they are.
Yeah, like they ran out of makeup or something. They're like, "Fuck, our budget's running low. Let's just
I mean,
put makeup on her."
it seems like that would be the case. Honestly, with how this movie is like so amateur like shot. I just find it I find it like fun. It adds to the horror, but also it's like it makes anything like that could be like a low budget movie issue like okay, yeah, this makes sense cuz we're not playing with like high ass quality cameras here, so I'm expecting less. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
well, it's well, when you look at the budget, because I remember I have a friend who's like really into the Evil Dead, and
Yeah.
he's heard all the commentaries and shit like that. And the budget for the movie itself, I just looked it up a little while ago before I came on. It was $350,000 to shoot
What?
this whole movie.
Wow.
Yeah, and when you look at nowadays, the movie like Insidious: The Red Door that just came out, they were like, "Oh, this movie was done on a shoestring budget of 12 million." And you're like
Shoestring.
you're like, "What the fuck? That's a lot of
Yeah.
money."
That's like a that seems like astronomically large amounts of money. I honestly, if I had to take a guess, like a lot of the money modern goes towards like uh VFX artists now, or at least a
Mhm.
lot of it.
And
If
then
I had to
promoting
guess.
too.
Yeah,
Promoting as
promoting.
well. Mhm.
Yeah. So like Evil Dead don't have any of those fancy schmancy computer graphics, but they do got them really cool practical effects. What did you think of the practical effects?
No, they're amazingly done,
Yeah.
especially like the girl that's in the basement, whenever they're cutting the limbs and
Oh yeah, that
uh
was gross.
all the like the random little things, like when you would see who was it? I think it was the other dude, not Ash, but the other dude was chopping the girl's limbs off, and the camera was pointed towards him, and you saw the blood dripping on the lens, so he would turn red, like,
Yeah,
so like it's just
very
shit like that.
artistic.
Yeah, where the shots are like very that, or even there was that scene, and it was real weird. I don't know if you noticed when he Ash was gonna give that necklace to that chick, and he was
Yeah.
pretending to be asleep, and their eyes, the camera was just like on their eyes,
Yeah.
back and forth, and it was
Yeah, I
so
did notice
weird.
that. That was weird. I was like, some of the shots in this movie has is like it makes me question like I completely understand how artistic this is. Like, you got to like amateur like filming style. So it's going to look like I think it's definitely tastefully amateur, like how like if you're a professional and you know all the rules, in order to change it up you got to break the rules, kind of like something like this, something like that in this regard. Like it doesn't look like doesn't look super professional, but it looks like a movie, like super cinematic,
Yeah,
even with like the camera not being like super stable. and all the POV shots. I thought that
Mhm.
was incredibly clever to
Yeah, he
like.
does do a lot of that, and they're very well done. Those
Yeah, it
point of view.
makes me like think the monster is the ultimate scary thing. Like I imagine this monster to be like this hound thing. Like I know it's a dead eye, but like just the absence of not seeing the monsters made me super scared. Also, the you remember the what is that called? A tape recorder?
Yeah, yeah. The
Why?
tape plate. Yeah, the
Yeah,
tape deck. Yeah, whatever.
why would anyone just touch a tape recorder? Just that's not theirs. Honestly, that's what I'm thinking. Like, bro, I don't know what's on this tape recorder. I'm not the type of person to be like, well, I'm gonna take a little listen, all right? I'm gonna see some private business. Cause it could be anything. Like
Yeah.
I could be listening to people moaning. Would have been a different type of movie.
Well, have you seen like the more recent Evil Deads?
I
Like any of
haven't.
them? You haven't?
No.
Okay, well, I don't want to spoil it, but like in the most recent one, Evil Dead Rise, that same kind of issue happens where they find the book, they find a record like a vinyl,
Yeah.
and the book looks like here the book looks like ugly, right? But it
Yeah.
looks like a book. It's got scary drawings in it, whatever. In the more recent ones, the book looks like it's made of fucking skin, and
Oh.
like it looks really evil.
Yeah.
And they open it and they have a vinyl that has like Latin on it, and they start playing it, and it's like, why the fuck would you play that vinyl? Like,
Yeah, why the
yeah.
fuck? Like, I'm just like listening and like watching these guys just touch strangers' items that doesn't belong to them. And they're like, "Oh, let's just play this, all right?" Boop. And it's like, "Oh, let's read some passages." Like we're some sort of audiobook narrator. Uh and I'm just like, "Okay, something evil is going to be here." And then a chick's like, "Stop playing that!" And then he stops playing it. He's like, "Oh, I lost my place." And he starts playing it again, but he fast forwards too far. And then the taped recording of reading the passages to get a bunch of these dead guys to come up and be risen from the dead. And I'm just like, wait, so you can just play a recording and it'll summon them. Like you don't have to use your soul or your voice box. Like maybe I know the guy who spoke these words had a soul, but it's being recorded, and this guy is presumably dead because he said the passages is causing all this shit to happen. But it's just
Mhm.
like the way that this whole scene is laid out and like saying all the words, I'm just like, wait, like it can just be anything saying those words. What about if it sounded like those words? Would they also rise?
I think so. It's whatever sounds like is reading the passage, because
Mm,
it seems like it's always a recording, because I know in the remake of the Evil Dead, I think it was like a cassette of someone, like a scientist was fucking translating the Book of the Dead,
yeah.
and and he recorded it. And then in the most recent, it's a vinyl that
Mm,
they put the recording of it, of them like, oh, we shouldn't. It was like a bunch of priests, and they all like agreed not to uh read the book, but then one of them's like, I'm here trying to read the book, here's what it
yeah.
says, and I'll record it for everyone. And I don't know,
Man.
it's just dumb. Like,
Yeah.
I could see back then there's nothing, you're just there with like your chicks, and you're like, let's find something to do. Oh, there's a tape recorder, let's listen to it. I could kind of give it more real, like, reality to it. But then
Yeah.
in these future ones where you have like your Super Nintendo or something, why are you gonna play a fucking vinyl you find like in a abandoned church or something?
Yeah. Also, it switched mediums, so somebody had to re-record that. So like it switched from the tape deck to a vinyl. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And,
that is
and
weird.
yeah, I don't. I guess like it could have been from different times that this book was translated. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because I don't know. Maybe someone also rewrote the book. I don't know. But it's supposed to be the book from like hell, right? Like
Yeah, it's
straight
like
out of
the
hell.
Necronomicon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't touch that book. Not because it's demonic, but because I don't like reading. Um, also, I don't necessarily like the part where well, I do like this part, but I don't like how Ash and the friends before they all like die one by one, slowly and slowly. They just have to deal with their friends being possessed by demons and then having to kill their friends. Like I'm still back on that point because it stuck with me. Like having to kill your friends part and like how what type of memory that I would have of my friend after having to kill them.
And
Uh
not only kill them, you have to like dismember them. Like
yeah.
yeah, because they're what where they're stabbing them in the neck or the head,
Yeah.
and they're still just throwing up milk and blood, and it's
You
like,
have
hey,
to like
hey,
chop them up.
yeah, I'm still fucking with you, and it's
It's
just like,
like,
what the fuck?
"Stop! Leave my friend alone. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. I'm sorry, demon." There was no sticky notes anywhere to tell me not to touch anything, so I just had to touch something.
I like how you said earlier though, like why did they touch strangers' things? Like that's
Yeah.
like a common rule in life. Is like it's not if it's not yours, don't touch it. You know, like just let it be, leave it there.
Yeah. Man, I just I also find that all of this stuff happens in one night, and this has to be the worst night of Ash's life. Like he has to put a friend into the cellar, the friend has to leave the cellar, and then he has to deal with the friend and also his friends who die and then come back as deadites, and he has to deal with those friends, and it just sounds like a really bad Friday night. I'm glad I'm not spending my Friday night in a cabin alone because this movie has taught me never go to cabins
Oh
because there
yeah,
could be
yeah.
demons.
Fuck yeah, they're scary. Like you don't know what's there, and I really like the part when he takes his girlfriend out to the shed
Yeah.
and he's gonna like chain her up and dismember her
Yeah.
with the chainsaw. And I don't know, I know recently you reviewed Spider-Man 2, right?
Yes.
Which is to me it's directed by the same director, Sam
Yeah.
Raimi. To me, it's like the best superhero movie ever. I don't care about your Marvels or your Infinity Wars or whatever.
I
Like
mean, I
this
agree with that.
that's
It's
probably the
definitely better
best.
than any Marvel property.
Mhm.
Any Marvel movie property rather.
But if you notice, like the way his direct style is or directorial style, whenever this happens, when he's chaining up his girlfriend and then he's grabbing the saw and he's getting to the limbs, it's
Yeah.
almost the same as the scene where Doc Ock is in the hospital room and
Yeah.
they get the saw and they're about to chain off his arms, and it's almost like a scary movie, that
Yeah,
scene.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eh,
now that you pointed out, like I'm visualizing it, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Also, there's a lot less film dissolves in this movie in compared to these other properties.
what do you mean?
Like, if you're editing two clips together,
Mhm.
you like do a film dissolve, so like two images bleed like underneath each other to transition from one image to the other. Sam
Oh, okay.
Raimi does that a lot, like in Spider-Man movies, for instance.
Mhm.
But in this one, he does a lot of like hard cuts. Uh, nothing's fancy transition wise.
Yeah, and I would imagine that's just because the budget, and it was like one of his first like was a big budget movie to him, getting 350 grand.
Yeah. Also, back to the trees again. The worst thing I've ever seen. We have Ash's friend getting caught by the trees, and then from what I saw, I think I saw his head as Ash's friend's head just hit the head of a tree. I mean, the trunk of a tree or something. That doesn't seem comfortable. It
No.
seems like deadly. I think he dies.
Yeah, that dude gets fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's like sitting on the couch, and Ash is like, "Don't worry, we're gonna make it out of this. We just gotta last till morning." And he's probably dead already. He's just there like
Yeah.
on the couch, fucked up, and they all start kind of taunting Ash.
It's like
Like,
demonic voices and some shit.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
sounds good, like, the way it's recorded too, it sounds, like,
Yeah.
really good, the overdubs and all that, and
I
is
like
that when he is that when he goes to the basement and, I don't remember what he does in the basement, but I just remember, like, the film projector goes on and blood you remember when the blood comes out of the pipe onto him and the
Yeah.
the projector gets little drops of blood and it's all red and it just looks good, like,
Yeah, I liked that
cinematically.
too. I think there he was just dealing with like the rest of his the remains of his friends slash the deadites coming back in their bodies and just having to execute them all. And then what I really like is how unresolved this movie's ending feels like. Like it just going to, oh, let's just go to the front door. Wow, finished. Woohoo. And then like it does a little like I don't, it's not a zoom, but it's like a camera's like following him like really high sped up, and it
Uh-huh,
just like goes into him like as if that like monster POV is back and it's attacking Ash, and
mhm.
I'm just like, "Oh, oh no, he didn't get all of them."
Or he just could never win because I mean, there was never a, "Oh, if you make it till dawn, you'll stay alive" type
Yeah,
of
this
thing.
isn't from dusk till dawn.
Yeah, there's no guarantee of this anywhere, and then, I thought the point of view you're talking about where it's, like, on the ground going after you reminds me of if you put a camera on, like, a vacuum cleaner
Yeah.
and you're, like, going forward real fast or something that's I don't know, it reminded me of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I liked that, visual style. I also
but
like the
there's
visual storytelling in this movie a lot. What were
and
you
there's a
saying?
certain point, I think, where, before Ash does make it through the day, that, like, when he sees blood come out of the pipes and the film projector and all that we were talking about, I feel
Yeah,
like the house gets possessed at this point because he's, like, going around kind of losing his mind.
yeah.
He touches the mirror and it turns into water, and it
Yeah,
scares
that
the
was
fuck out.
weird.
That was a scary shit, like, that effect was, like, real scary to me, like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I think what scared me more was the makeup and the idea that you gotta live with the fact that you've killed your friends because they turned into demons and that was the only way for you to survive, but you still have to live with that fact. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's like honestly more of the scarier part to me in this movie. Um, like also the tension building was great. And I think the practical effects just makes me like feel gross, or it just makes me feel gross, like ultra gross. I'm
Well,
super grossed out by them.
it's impressive, like I said, with the budget they had, um, to do what they, did, you know?
What'd you say?
It's impressive with the budget they had to do what they did,
Yeah,
like 350 grand and they were able to make, like, a full-length film with, it's just that one location, but they told, like, a great story, they had great
yeah,
practical effects, they had those like claymation type effects whenever they did finally burn the Book of the Dead and everybody kind
Yeah,
of just
that was
melts.
cool. I liked all the effects. Man, I just watching this movie made me feel like this could happen to me. Like cuz of how it's all set in one location. Like you ever feel that?
Yeah, because they're. I mean, how many cabin in the woods are there? Like, I bet you there's a real like cabin in the woods that you can rent, and it'd be like just as scary. You know,
I mean,
like.
I've been on a in a cabin in the woods before.
Hmm.
Not as scary as this cabin in the woods, nothing as like sketchy as this one either. But a cabin in the woods is definitely like it's a scary vibe. It's if you've ever been in like camping or even like in the woods just alone, I feel like this movie is like worst case scenario for that. So,
I feel like too when every time you go outside, there's so much fog.
yeah.
It'd be terrible for your hair, like the humidity or something. Like you're,
Oh, I'm
it's all free.
experiencing that like just living in Kentucky. I don't have to be in the woods for that.
It's all frizzy, like you can't keep it down and shit.
Yeah.
But
Um
I don't know, like this to me with the budget and all that stuff, and yeah, it's like not the best writing. The actors are like, "Hey, look at that," or "Oh, watch out," or whatever. But
yeah.
it's still really good with the effects and how scary it is. You know.
Yeah, honestly, when now that you mentioned the acting, like it wasn't like remarkable to me the acting. Like I've like said before, the most memorable part is the camera movement and the directing
Hmm.
for me. And like I do like the interior of the house, like just from like a design standpoint, it being like I'd call it decrepit a little bit, like more muted, more pastel, but also earthy at the same time. Um, that also contributed heavy to the scary vibe. It feels like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory esque area. We'd have a completely different tone, no matter no matter if it was the exact same events. Just the setting itself helped lend to the creepiness of the environment.
Hmm. No, yeah, the setting was essentially its own character if you think about it, like
Yeah,
because it was a lot. It felt alive at a certain point. When Ash was there like by himself, and he
yeah,
starts tripping out with the whole house, having blood in the pipes, or you see that when the blood went into the light bulb,
that was
and
weird.
yeah, like it's I don't know, it's crazy. I'm sure it's something small, but then it looks badass when you're like filming it, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate the small details in this
Yeah.
movie. It adds to everything.
And I think that's what made this movie was that, and then the effects. Like you
Yeah.
said, the acting's like, it just sounds like Sam Raimi just like asked his friends to do it, you know,
Yeah,
like, hey, y'all my
exactly.
friends, yeah, y'all my friends, y'all do it right. But then he's going all out with the directing, the cinematography, and the practical effects, of
Yeah.
course.
Um, I think those are pretty much all of my thoughts on The Evil Dead. To close though, I think this is a pretty remarkable and scary horror movie. Like I've seen a few horror movies now, and I can say with my chest that this has to be one of the scariest horror movies, like conceptually,
Hmm.
and also like how it's executed in the camera work and stuff, such like that. And I just feel bad for Ash. I just feel like he's having the worst day of his life, and I hope he gets better soon. So I'm gonna give this movie like a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I would give it a 10 out of 10 just because. Yeah, I know I had said that about the acting, but it's just what they did with what they had. Like you I got like I said, they're saying $12 million budget for Insidious is
Yeah.
small and independent. When you have a film like this, that costs $350,000 and it has like more heart and soul and fear and jump scares, and
Yeah.
it started franchises. It started a franchise like The Evil Dead, you know?
Yeah.
where
Y-
it's where now it's like multiple sequels, comic books, video games, you know, like
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. Uh
I'm just thinking that I remember in my Evil Dead review, I gave it at least a 9, and I cannot disrespect this movie for giving it an 8 because it just doesn't feel right. So
yeah.
it's like a 9 point whatever.
And then
9 point.
I remember there was a scene where it showed some titties, so that was pretty nice.
Yeah,
Like
titties are
real
always welcome.
Yeah, like real quick. I don't even think it showed anything with the rape, the tree rape, but like real quick in the window it showed like the spirit looking at her titties, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Tasteful titty. That's
Possess
what
some
more
titties.
movies need.
Those 80s titties, like girls from the 80s, they're like the gravity was different back then, you know?
Oh, I want to be under that gravity.
It was just different where you didn't need like these fancy bras with
That's
like
true.
mechanisms on in them and
Hmm.
stuff, you know?
My theory on that is it's possible that the chicks in the 80s were a lot less fat than the chicks now, and I'm only saying this with facts and logic. When it comes to 80%, 40% of America, for instance, obese. That is accurate. I've done a study. I've looked up the numbers. It's
Oh,
40%.
women were like at home back then to cook
Yeah,
meals. You know, it's not like, "Oh, I'm a working woman, I gotta get fast food for my kids," and then the kids are like, "I want chicken nuggies," or
yeah,
I want Little Caesars," you know, like, fucking really unhealthy food.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that definitely has to do with the tittiness factor of all them chicks. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I would like to see some big tits, really big tits, in the 80s to really compare to see if the big tits now look different from big tits back then.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't think I've ever seen, like, overly cartoony type tits is what you mean? Like,
Just like
really
a normal big tits as big as mine. I almost said normal, but then I realized my tits are not normal sized. They're big.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more like Roger Rabbit, cartoony, big tits, like porn star tits, you know?
Right,
Uh,
like for me the imagery is like uh anime hentai with like tiny waists, like tits as big as two of their heads,
mhm.
the models' heads.
I
I
don't
will
know if that occurred naturally back when. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
it did.
it occurs naturally ever. It doesn't occur naturally. That's the best part of those drawings.
I feel like after World War II with the Nazis, I feel like the Nazis bred big titty women at some point. They did everything else. I feel like they engineered it
You're like
somehow.
Nazis? Are you talking about Nazis as like a biology group? Like what? What is like? Are you talking? What? I don't understand.
Well, Nazis like did a lot of scientific tests, that I mean
Okay,
is
tests.
yeah, like
Okay.
because they were trying to make like the perfect race with white people or Germans. That's why they
Mm.
were trying to kill off the Jews and all that.
Have you
And
seen Hitomi Tanaka's tits?
no,
Hers are natural and they're massive.
no, let me. I'm not
You
gonna
gotta look her up. Hitomi Tanaka.
hold on. Give me,
I'm
give me.
sub to her OnlyFans,
Let me
and she's got them big old milkers.
Takano
Or
or
all natural.
Tanaka?
Hitomi Tanaka. You find her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like my search thing was like, you're about to search adult stuff. Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, she's. Let me see if I could share this. I mean, there's nothing dirty. Share
All
screen
right.
video. Told me tonight. Here you go. This one in the red, right there. That one in the red looks really. Is that her?
I see it's not loading. I don't see
Huh?
shit. It hasn't loaded for me. I don't know what's up. I don't know what games you're playing, Lorenzo. Oh shit, there they is.
That's
What
her,
the
right?
massive?
And those
Like,
are natural.
yeah, those are natural. Did she tuck that dress underneath her tits? That's what it
I'm
looks
saying.
like.
I'm saying like that waist for the ratio, like that's natural. Are you sure?
Yeah, I've seen her tits. You can tell if a woman has fake tits or natural tits, and it's by the way the tit sits on top of the chest.
Mm,
And hers
mm.
just like a natural big titty, is affected by gravity. So
Yeah, yeah, and I know like yours. I mean, I haven't seen everything, but I can see what I could see certain portions of yours. And doesn't it like hurt your back? Like when do you feel bad for this woman that she's
no.
got to like wheelbarrow them around or something?
I mean, I've grown up with lots of women who've been like, "Oh, I feel bad for your big tits because your back must hurt." And I'm like, "My back never hurts because I'm working out 6 days a week." And I don't know, like my
You just
tits,
like my back never
it
hurts.
has never hurt because of my tits. It's usually because of my posture. So like, my tits are fine. Like, as long as you have some back muscle, like,
I feel like that I've been lied to my whole life then because I've always been told like you shouldn't like I guess like see a girl with big tits as sexy. You should see it as like she's going through a lot because of the back pain.
well, okay. First of all, that's small. I personally see it as small tit envy. If they're trying to keep you down, they're trying to make your tits small. Or
Hmm.
like I've had many women come up to me and be like with like small tits and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that your tits you have big tits. You should get a breast reduction." And I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Oh, your back must hurt." I had a friend who had bigger tits and her back hurt and she had a breast reduction and then
Hmm.
she felt better. And I'm like, "Fuck you. I'm not getting a breast reduction."
I think a breast reduction is like like spitting in God's face
Yeah.
because I had a friend in high school and her tits weren't as nearly as big as yours, probably the same size, but she
Right.
got like a breast reduction because her back would hurt. And like I don't know. To me, that's like spitting in God's face. Like he gave you those, and you're
Yeah.
like you're literally taking. You know what I mean? What God gave you. I don't know. I could see getting them bigger, of course, but taking them, making them smaller. It's it's you hate God at that point.
Yeah,
Like,
personally, I don't quite understand. I would add mass to my tits before I got a tit reduction. Like I'd
yeah.
make mine like 10 cups bigger.
I don't know about that. I
I mean, it'd
feel
be
like
hard to shop for bras, but it's already hard to shop for bras.
see, but at that point too, I bet you like if you did have like her massively sized ones, you could be like those anime characters where you got two guys carrying each one underneath, so you don't have to worry about like holding them. You have your subjects like one holding each tit, as they
Oh
walk.
my goodness, yeah, that's funny. I
But
do
I don't
like
know.
tits a lot.
Yeah, I enjoy them as well. That's why my whole family is named after them.
Nice. You scored well.
And real quick on the comments, I wanted to shout out to Dirty Dalish. Ask Min to join if you want to join us for one of our movie dates when we watch a movie on a stream.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll find a good schedule for that.
Yeah.
'Cause that'd be fun. I always enjoy more women. The more the merrier.
More women. Yes.
Yes, we need
I
more
want to
women.
go on a date with a movie date with Dalish, and you'll be
She's
there too,
great.
Lorenzo.
I'll be there. I'll be there to hold everyone's tits up
Yeah.
for their support. Okay, I don't know how we veered off that far, but it's good to know this girl's name. I'll definitely bookmark this.
Yeah, Hitomi
Uh
Tanaka.
but yeah, we're gonna play a game real quick, in vein of how we've been doing. In this one, what did I call it? Guess the evil thing,
Yes.
I believe.
Guess the evil
And
thing. The
guess the
Evil Dead.
evil thing.
Yeah.
So let me present. Let me do. Where's it at? No, I need to get rid of that.
It's a perfect name. I like it. It's
guess
perfectly good.
guess the evil thing.
Yes.
Share the screen. Where is these images?
Where
Here we
are
go.
those
Here we go.
images? Where
I
are
found
those images? He.
it. Okay, so they should be loading up.
All right.
God damn my eyes. Right?
While this loads up, I'm just looking at the art. Great art. Whoever did the Evil Dead chick being dragged by the Deadeye underground. Great art.
Oh yeah, that is really great, right? Okay, let's see. Let me add this. I think I added it. It's hopefully it's loading.
Damn. Look
There
at
we
that.
go. Okay, can you guess?
It's a Ouija
Well,
board.
yeah, that one's pretty easy. I should have.
Yeah.
I should have
Oh, sorry.
photoshopped.
I went to. Hold on. Here's my actual answer. The
Uh-huh.
alphabet.
That's a QRTY keyboard, right? That's just what
Exactly.
you fucking text with. It's got little sun and moon emojis.
Yeah.
No, perfect. You got that one. Uh, I think there's only 6. I forget. Then we'll go to the next one. What is that?
Death.
Do you know what it's from?
It's from the anime and also manga Death Note.
These are too easy when they actually
Yeah.
have written on them what they are.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see. Hopefully,
I couldn't just
Oh
like
my
scratch
goodness.
it out though, and it just be a black book and be like, "Hey, what's this black book?" You know?
It's like, oh, it could be a Bible.
Yeah.
But I mean, actually, you could have just gotten rid of you could have gotten rid of Death Note. I would have like, because writing in the journal. I guess I would have also guessed the journal if that
Yeah.
happened.
But if you had no idea what Death Note was, you wouldn't know what the Death Note is, right? You would say, it's a Death Note," but you wouldn't know what it's from.
Yeah, and I wouldn't know if I was referring to it. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know. Okay,
uh,
what is this? What is this? I don't know what it's called, but where's this from? This book.
it looks like a. Oh God.
See,
This
it
is
got a
from
little
a horror
trickier.
movie.
Got a little trickier.
My first thought was Necronomicon.
It does look like the Necronomicon, but it's not. It's I think it's called a Book of Spells, but do you know what movie it's from?
Book of Spells. From what series? Cheese. Like
I'll give you a hint. It's a Disney movie.
Disney. What the fuck?
Hmm.
What the hell could this possibly be? My guess is it looks like I'm like stuck on which boo is the Doctor Who series. Go Electric Boogaloo. There it is.
It's from Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I've never seen Hocus Pocus.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No.
It's good. It's good. The first one's good. I don't know about the new one. I hear the new one went woke or something, but everything's going woke now.
Oh, interesting.
Do you know where this book's from?
Handbook for the recently deceased. Um, uh, it's from a movie.
Yes, it's from a movie.
It's from a movie. So this is obviously an afterlife book.
Mm-hmm.
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, just hand it to Jesus with the Bible. Here you got two things to read. Uh to study for. This is from Beetlejuice.
Oh, I've never seen Beetlejuice.
You've never seen Beetlejuice?
No, I haven't.
Such a weird movie, but it's very good. It's a very good movie.
Ooh,
Uh
I've seen a lot of costumes in Spirit Halloween of Beetlejuice.
yeah. It's a great movie.
This
Weird movie, but great. What is this?
is that chessboard? Is that it looks my first thought was Jumanji, but Jumanji.
No, you're right. You're right. It's
Oh, it's the
opened up
chess.
though.
It's the chess game. You know, I've never seen the 1970 or whatever it was Jumanji. I've only seen the ones with the rock in it.
Oh, you have to watch the. Well, I don't think it's from the 70s. I think it's from the 90s, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, that one's good. Jumanji, and yeah, that's the actual board game from the movie.
Okay.
So you got that right.
You know, I
And
like this board game more than
the board game?
anything. I like that just to look at that board game more than the idea of Jumanji with the rock in it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good movie. I saw the newer Jumanji, but
Yeah, they're pretty good. I
it
just don't like
doesn't
the rock in it.
Well, he just plays himself. He plays himself in every
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
movie.
That's the issue. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
he's just himself. He's
I
just
guess that it's like, yeah, if you wanna typecast the rock, yeah, get the rock.
okay. And who is this character from?
From
Yeah.
um Tooth Fairy.
So the guy in chat got it, Steve. It's the witch character from the movie Stay Alive.
The
Have you ever
what?
heard of
I've
the
never.
movie? Have
No,
you
I
ever you've
haven't.
never heard of Stay Alive?
No. What the fuck?
Literally, if you look at the tagline for Stay Alive, it's if you die in the game, you die for real. And that was like its whole campaign
Mm.
was it was like you play the game and if you die in the game, you die for real.
Oh, it's like Jumanji for real, for real.
Yeah. But
Okay.
it was like a video game. And what is this? Do you know what this is?
It looks like a hand.
Yep.
It looks like it's Harry. It's a werewolf's hand, but it's from a specific
Close.
franchise.
It's like a old story that's always been told, like you know those tales that have been told by like over and over and over and over again, you know, like a classic tale.
Yeah, like a folktale.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Okay. Um, uh, you know, damn. I'm just gonna guess it's where the wild things are.
It does look like that art style, right?
Yeah.
Everyone in the chat's getting it. It's called The Monkey's Paw. And
Oh,
it's
I've
just
never heard of that before.
you've never heard of it?
No.
It's like a tale as old as time where you take the paw, you wish for something, and then one of the fingers goes down, and
Hmm.
the wish ends up like, oh, you twisted my words, like you
Like a
know you
genie?
yeah, kind of like well, like an evil genie, like
Hmm.
let's say you wish this. I think it's the story goes like, oh, you wish for money, and your father dies, but he leaves you an inheritance. So you know what I mean? It's like you twisted my words, you know.
Okay.
So that's how that goes typically with that.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that idea. Is there
Yeah.
any more of these?
I think I have one more. Yeah.
A cube.
Do you know where it's from?
Homestuck.
Yeah, I would have accepted Minecraft. No,
Very
it's
familiar with Minecraft. No cubes look like no Minecraft cubes look like this.
this is I believe it's called the Lament configuration, and it's from Hellraiser.
Oh, I have seen Hellraiser.
It's that cube they have to solve to go into that dimension that gives them pleasure in the form of pain.
Was this in the other Hellraisers other than the first one?
I don't know because I've only seen the original first one. I've never seen.
Okay.
I take it back. I think I've seen the second one too,
All right. I
but
have not seen the second one.
but
Uh
uh but the original one, it's more like it's always held in like a diamond. Like when you lay it down this way, it doesn't look familiar, but they always
yeah.
hold it like the other way, like diagonally.
Yeah, okay. I can visualize that now. Just
Yeah.
seeing it as a cube, it's like, what the fuck? What is this? A lampshade?
Oh shit, there's that chick still. Cool. Yeah, but I will I'm gonna have to save that picture. Uh but yeah, that was it. That was Guess the Evil Thing.
Oh shit, what I get? What score?
Oh, you got probably like 6 out of 9, 69.
Nice.
I thought so too. Nice.
Ha ha ha.
And as far as movies go for next week, I have two unless you had one like that you had your heart set on. I have two I want to pitch to you.
What show two? I picked Evil Dead for this week. It's your turn now.
Okay, let me see. I know I took pictures of them. I think they're here. So one of them here is called Waking Life.
Waking Life?
Uh-huh.
Alright.
And then this next one is called Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness, the movie musical.
Yeah. So either one of these, I love both of them. This one, I don't know if you're into musicals,
Reefer
but I
Madness.
Reefer Madness.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I've seen this musical probably over 200 times because I
Ooh,
love it so much.
I have a very specific shirt. It's tie dye. It's a woman smoking a joint in a weed bikini.
That's pretty hot.
Yeah.
You should make a picture of yourself smoking a joint shirt while you're smoking a joint so that it's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That
Yes.
Inception type shit.
Exactly. And
That'd
then
be
I
pretty
can
badass.
put myself doing that exact same pose on a shirt. I'll take it to the next level eventually.
Just
Yeah.
keep going in and in and
Just
in.
keep on going.
But I know this movie's on what is it? What's on Amazon Prime, but it's like freebie or something.
Freebie?
Yeah, so it's there
Oh,
free with ads. Reefer
okay.
Madness, the movie musical. So it's a pretty easy find if anyone else wants to watch it.
Musical?
Yeah.
Um
I don't know if you're into musicals. Do you like musicals?
I like musicals. I recently viewed a musical. What was it called? Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh yeah, yeah. That one's all right. I saw
You thought
with
it was all right? I thought it was pretty cool. You know, I like the contrast with the singing environment with the how like everything is going to shit and everyone's like singing happily. I like that contrast, and then like the entire darkness, how dark the movie gets. I enjoyed a lot. I have a whole review on it over on youtube.com/ASC presents Little Shop of Horrors for my full thoughts. But overall, I enjoyed that movie a lot.
and there's you with your live stream weekly schedule if
Yeah,
everyone wants to take a look at that.
yeah, live stream schedule. I've made a schedule. You know, I've on top of the daily movie reviews, I'm doing live streams. You can check out my schedule right here. I do YouTube and also Fansly streams. The YouTube, right now I'm doing Fallout 4. I'm playing Fallout 4. And then on Fansly, I'm doing Monday nights. I do Kill Tony watch alongs. I did that last night. It was pretty fun
That's cool.
of the newest episode. after it's premiered and live.
That's cool.
And then on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, I do like movie watch alongs. So I watch movies that I'm going to review for the next like couple of weeks. And just constantly watching movies, and I'll be live on those on the days in the schedule: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So
Hell yeah. What you can do if you want to watch it, this movie Reefer Madness, the movie musical,
yeah.
it's based on old black and white film called Reefer Madness,
Ah,
that like it was made like propaganda, like to
yeah.
scare you from smoking weed, and it's in the free domain. I watched it. I don't know. No, I watched it on like stream here
Mm,
because it's in the free domain, so you can watch it.
right.
I don't. I was like, did I watch it with Dalish? I don't think I did.
Hmm.
I watched Little Shop of Horrors with Dalish, but it
Right.
wasn't the musical. It was
Okay.
the original
The,
black and white.
wait, there was an original black and white version?
Yeah,
Huh.
that's just kind of like a comedy,
Oh, interesting.
like a slapstick. Yeah, and the one
Yeah.
you watched, I think, is the one with Rick Moranis, right?
Uh,
It
Rick
was real.
Moranis.
Well, the one you saw was real like doo wop, right? Like doo wop music, like doo bop, doobie doo wop wop wop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's good. That one I think's better than the original.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Rick Moranis is in Little Shop of Horrors. Um. Also. Also, I would definitely. I just want to say this because I just thought of it. I would definitely do a minute on Kill Tony for sure.
I'm telling. I was telling your producer. I live here in San Antonio. That's like 45 minutes from Austin, and I have an apartment in my backyard that needs people to
Right.
rent it. In Austin's like 45 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I was
I
telling
haven't
him
really
that.
been to. I haven't. I've only been to Texas a few times, but you know what
Really?
Texas has? It's great. Whataburger.
Dude,
Whataburger.
Whataburger is this shit. What I love Whataburger. Their ketchup is so good.
I know there's a Whataburger going to Vegas, which is
Is there?
exciting. Yeah.
Hmm. If I
Yeah.
I think there's one in Oklahoma now.
Oh, there is?
I think they're slowly going up like the South way. I think so.
Hot take. Whataburger, S tier. In-N-Out Burger, F tier.
I didn't like In-N-Out when I tried it, but they had just made one here a few years back and I didn't like it, but I don't like really anything on my burgers other than just meat and ketchup and mayonnaise or something.
Meat and ketchup. I
Yeah.
like lots of things on my burgers. Like mayonnaise. I like a little bit of honey mustard. F- and also lettuce. Give me them onions. Grilled
Well,
onions.
your mint salad, you want all that
Yeah, I want all that
sal-
shit on my meat.
all that salad all
Give
over
me
your
that
meat.
pepper jack cheese.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Now I want to cook burgers. Damn. Well,
All
luckily I
right.
got ingredients to do that. So, where can we find you, Lorenzo?
You could find my podcast, That's All Funny, anywhere podcasts are available. You could find it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/at Lorenzo Arreola. I do random videos on there as well as the podcast. And you can check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Lorenzo Arreola for ad-free episodes or other bonus content put out earlier. And what
Heck
about
yeah.
you, man?
Uh, so you can head over to my fansly.com/Titsman Salad to help support the daily grindiness of my daily movie reviews over on youtube.com/ASC Presents. And I do live streams like we mentioned a little bit earlier. I do live streams over on fansly.com/Titsman Salad, daily movie reviews, and lots of more gaming streams to come because I like live streaming and I want to live stream more. So I'm going to be online more. You'll be able to watch me then. So be sure to subscribe to youtube.com/ASU Presents to keep updated on when I'm live if you want to check that out. So yeah. That's
Hell
pretty much,
yeah!
yeah.
Is Fallout 4 Are you liking it?
I am enjoying Fallout 4. Uh it's bigger. It's honestly I didn't know what type of game it would be. I've only heard it was an RPG, and the scope of how like the bigness of the world didn't dawn on me until like I started playing it more and more, and then I'm like, oh shit, this game's bigger than I thought. Oh
Yeah,
fuck.
it's a big game.
Yeah.
It's a
But
big
I'm
game.
enjoying it. I'm getting the handle for everything as I play it more and more.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I remember always like I would play it and then I would play it for a week or two and then fall off on it and then I
Yeah.
would come back weeks later and forget where I'm at, so I'd have to
Yeah.
restart it, and that happened to me like a few times. I'm like, "Fuck this! This game's too big. I don't know
Yeah.
where to go."
I
But it
like
is a good
smaller
game.
games like Minecraft.
Minecraft. That's a big small game. But no, it was fun today. I hope everyone had a great time, and we'll be here next week with Reefer Madness. Reefer
Reefer
Madness. Reefer
Madness.
Madness.
The
Oh,
musical.
so mad. The
Not the
movie
propaganda
musical.
piece, but the musical.
The Reefer Madness, the movie musical.
All
But
right.
but yeah, thank y'all for being here and see y'all next time.